Right now, while you are watching this video, something is breaking in the global financial system, and most people have no idea it's happening. Global bond market liquidity just hit its worst level since 2007. Yes, 2007, the year before the entire world economy collapsed. But here's what makes this terrifying. The US economy is still growing at 3.8%. Stock markets are near record highs. Everything looks fine on the surface, except it's not fine. Beneath the headlines, the foundation of the global financial system is cracking. And this invisible crisis could destroy your savings, crush your retirement account, and tank the value of your home before you even realize what hit you. The bond market controls everything. It sets the interest rates on your mortgage, your car loan, your credit cards. It determines whether companies can borrow money to grow or whether they have to lay people off. When the bond market breaks, everything breaks. And right now, it's sending a warning signal that's louder than anything we've seen in nearly 2 decades. But to understand what's happening now, we need to go back a few months. Because this crisis didn't start in America. It started on the other side of the world. For decades, Japan was the safest, most boring place in global finance. Their government bonds paid almost nothing. 0% interest, sometimes even negative rates. Investors used to joke that Japanese bonds were basically free money that you locked away and forgot about. The Bank of Japan controlled everything. They artificially held interest rates at 0 for 30 years using something called yield curve control. It was financial engineering on a massive scale. But in early 2025, something changed. The cap came off, and Japanese bond yields exploded. The 30-year government bond yield in Japan jumped from 2.2% at the start of 2025 to over 3.1% by the end of the year. That might not sound like much, but in Japan, that's an earthquake. It's the highest yield they've seen since 1999. Here's why this matters. Japan has the highest debt-to-GDP ratio of any developed nation on Earth, over 250%. That means their government owes more than twice what their entire economy produces in a year. When interest rates were 0, that debt was manageable. But now, every percentage point increase in rates costs the Japanese government billions more in interest payments. Money they don't have. And it gets worse. There's something called the carry trade. For years, global investors borrowed trillions of dollars worth of yen at 0% interest, then invested that money in higher-yielding assets around the world. Estimates put this trade at over $20 trillion. But now that Japanese rates are rising, that trade is unwinding. Investors have to pay back those yen loans. Fast. That means selling assets everywhere else and buying yen. It's a forced liquidation on a global scale. And here's the thing nobody's talking about. When Japan sneezes, America catches a cold. Japanese investors are the largest foreign holders of U.S. Treasury bonds. They own $1.1 trillion of American debt. That's trillion with a T. For years, they bought our bonds because they couldn't get any return at home. But now, Japanese bonds are actually paying decent interest. So why would they keep lending money to America when they can get similar returns at home with less risk? They wouldn't. And they're not. Japanese investors are already pulling capital back home, just when America needs them the most. Because here's the problem. In 2026, the U.S. Treasury has to issue over $31 trillion in new bonds. That's the highest amount ever recorded in American history. We're not talking about rolling over old debt. We're talking about new borrowing to fund government spending, infrastructure, defense, everything. So you have fewer buyers and more supply hitting the market at the exact same time. And when that happens, bond prices collapse. When bond prices collapse, yields spike. When yields spike, borrowing costs for everyone go through the roof. But it's not just Japan and America. This is happening everywhere. In the United Kingdom, 30-year bond yields just hit their highest level since 1998. In Germany, their 30-year bonds are at 14-year highs. France? Highest since 2009. The entire developed world is losing control of its bond markets simultaneously. This has never happened before. Not like this. And just when you think it can't get any worse, there's something even more dangerous happening right here at home. January 2026. The U.S. Department of Justice opens a criminal investigation into Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Let that sink in. The government is investigating the head of the central bank. The official reason? Alleged misleading of Congress about renovations at Fed headquarters. But everyone knows that's not what this is really about. President Trump has been attacking Powell for months. He's called him incompetent. He's called him a stubborn mule. He's posted on social media that Powell is corrupt and needs to be fired immediately. And now, the DOJ is involved. Powell did something unusual. He released a public statement, and it was direct. He said this investigation is not about building renovations. It's about intimidation. It's about whether the Federal Reserve will continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic data, or whether monetary policy will be controlled by political pressure. This is a massive deal. The independence of the Federal Reserve has been the backbone of American economic stability since 1913. When politicians control interest rates, disasters happen. Look at the 1970s. Political pressure kept rates too low for too long, and we got runaway inflation that destroyed the middle class. Or look at Turkey today, where President Erdogan fired multiple central bank governors who wouldn't cut rates. Their currency collapsed. Inflation hit 80%. Their economy is in ruins. Even Republicans are pushing back. Senators who usually support Trump are saying this investigation is dangerous. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, warned that attacking the Fed could trigger a global financial crisis. Markets are nervous, the dollar is weakening, and bond yields? They're rising. Because investors are starting to ask a question they've never had to ask before. Can we trust the United States to manage its own economy? But that's not even the scariest part. Let me explain something that sounds technical but is actually simple. There's something called the yield curve. It's basically a chart that shows interest rates for government bonds at different time periods. Normally, if you lend money to the government for 2 years, you get paid less interest than if you lend money for 10 years. That makes sense, right? Longer time means more risk, so you want more reward. When the economy is healthy, the curve slopes upward. Short-term rates are low, long-term rates are higher, everything is normal. But when the curve inverts, when short-term rates are higher than long-term rates, it means investors think the economy is heading for trouble. And an inverted yield curve has predicted every single recession in the last 50 years. In 2022, the U.S. yield curve inverted, and it stayed inverted for almost 2 full years. The longest inversion in American history. Now, we haven't officially declared a recession yet. The government keeps changing the definition of what a recession actually is, so technically, we're not in one. But the yield curve is doing something right now that's even more ominous. It's steepening. At first, that sounds good. Like the economy is recovering, but it's steepening in the wrong way. Normally, when things get better, short-term rates fall because the Fed cuts, and long-term rates stay stable. That's a healthy steepening. What we're seeing now is called a bear steepener. Short-term rates are still high. The Fed says they're going to cut, but rates aren't really coming down, and long-term rates are exploding higher. That means investors are saying, we don't trust the government to control inflation or manage the debt over the long run. Pay us more to compensate for the risk. And historically, every single time this has happened, a recession followed within 6 to 12 months. Every single time. But you don't need charts to see it. The warning signs are already showing up in the real economy. In June 2025, the United States lost 13,000 jobs, not gained. Lost. It was the first negative jobs report since 2021. The headlines tried to downplay it. They called it a revision, a statistical anomaly, but it wasn't. August wasn't much better. We only added 22,000 jobs. For context, a healthy economy should be adding 150,000 to 200,000 jobs per month. We're nowhere close. Unemployment has now climbed to 4.3%, and that's just the official number. If you count people who've given up looking for work or people stuck in part-time jobs who want full-time work, the real number is much higher. Credit card debt just hit an all-time record high. American families are maxed out. Delinquencies are rising. More people are falling behind on car payments, student loans, medical bills. Inflation is still running at 2.7%. The Fed wants it at 2%. We're not there. And with tariffs and trade wars heating up, inflation could easily spike again. Housing? Prices are either flat or falling in most markets. Mortgage rates are still hovering around 7% even though the Fed says they want to cut rates. If you're trying to buy a house right now, you're paying double what you would have paid in 2020. And here's something really strange. Gold is rising at the same time that bond yields are rising. Normally, those two move in opposite directions. When bonds pay good interest, people sell gold and buy bonds. But right now, both are going up. That's a signal. It means investors don't trust the bond market anymore. They're buying gold as insurance against the entire system breaking down. Bitcoin is doing the same thing, rising even as interest rates climb, because people are looking for assets that exist outside the traditional financial system, assets that governments can't print more of or manipulate. So if you're an American who's worked hard your whole life, paid your taxes, saved for retirement, and tried to do everything right, you're probably asking, what the hell am I supposed to do? Let's talk about your investments. If you own stocks, higher bond yields are bad news. Here's why. The value of a stock is based on future profits. But when interest rates go up, those future profits get discounted more heavily. That makes stocks worth less today. This especially hurts growth stocks and tech stocks because most of their value is based on profits they'll make years from now. Higher rates compress those valuations hard. If you own bonds, you've probably already lost money. Bond prices and yields move in opposite directions. So when yields spiked over the last 2 years, bond values crashed. If you bought a 10-year Treasury in 2020 when rates were low and you try to sell it today, you'll get back way less than you paid for it. Real estate? Mortgage rates are tied to long-term Treasury yields. If the 10-year Treasury keeps climbing, so do mortgage rates. That makes houses less affordable. Either prices have to come down or buyers disappear. Right now we're seeing both. And if unemployment keeps rising, more people will be forced to sell. That floods the market with inventory. More supply, less demand. Prices fall. Your 401k and retirement accounts? Most of them hold a mix of stocks and bonds. Both are getting hammered right now. Diversification isn't protecting you when everything goes down together, but here's what you can do. Gold and Bitcoin are holding up because they're outside the system. Gold has been money for 5,000 years. Bitcoin is digital gold that can't be inflated away by central banks. I'm not saying put everything into them, but having 5 to 10% of your portfolio in hard assets that aren't tied to government debt makes sense right now. Cash is also important, not stuffed under your mattress, but in short-term treasury bills or money market funds. If markets crash, cash gives you the ability to buy assets when they're cheap. Diversification still matters. Stocks, real estate, precious metals, some crypto, some cash. Spread your risk, don't panic, but don't ignore what's happening either, because there's something even bigger going on here that most people aren't seeing. This isn't just a financial crisis, it's a system-level shift. Governments around the world have borrowed too much money, and now they can't afford to pay it back without destroying their economies. Central banks printed trillions of dollars to bail out the system in 2008. They did it again in 2020. But now, they're losing control. The bond market is telling them, we don't believe you anymore. Inflation can't be contained, debt can't be repaid, the whole system is based on trust, and that trust is breaking. There are only 2 ways this ends. Option 1. Inflation keeps running high and slowly erodes the value of all that debt, which also means it erodes the value of your savings, your paycheck, everything you own. Option 2. A hard reset. Something breaks. A financial crisis. A currency crisis. Maybe even a geopolitical conflict that forces the system to change. And we're already seeing signs of option 2. Tensions are rising around the world. China and Taiwan. Russia and Ukraine. Middle East conflicts expanding. Countries are picking sides, forming new alliances. History shows us that when economies fall apart, wars tend to follow. I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying it because you need to understand the stakes. For your kids and grandkids, the world is going to look very different. The future might not be about working a 9-to-5 job and climbing the corporate ladder. It might be about owning assets, investing in things that produce cash flow or appreciate over time. Capital might beat labor in a way we've never seen before, especially with AI, robotics, and automation eliminating jobs faster than we can create new ones. But here's the most important thing. The worst thing you can do right now is nothing. Sitting on the sidelines in fear means getting left behind. Inflation will eat your cash. Your purchasing power will shrink every single year. You have to be invested. Stocks, real estate, gold, Bitcoin, whatever makes sense for your situation, but you have to own something. Because doing nothing is a guaranteed way to lose. I don't have all the answers, nobody does, but I'm staying diversified. I own stocks, real estate, Bitcoin, and I keep some cash in short-term bonds. I watch the data, I stay informed, and I adjust as things change. The world is shifting beneath our feet, but if you understand these forces, if you see what's happening before most people do, you can protect yourself and your family. You can even profit from it, because every crisis creates opportunities for those who are prepared. That's it. That's what's happening in the bond market right now. And that's why it matters more than anything else you'll hear about in the news this year. If you made it this far, thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen next. I'll see you in the next video.